actually do this live event thing and people like don't dance, I really hope that would actually be just one guy in the audience like dancing.
Just like we were like, yeah, go guys, and just like a second
I would
pause,
throw off,
and then,
I would throw off my
woo!
headset, jump into the crowd, and join that one guy. And we would just be like the coolest people in the world for 30 seconds. But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in game number 1 of a brand new best of 3. This is for the GFINITY Spring Masters number 2. There's a lot of money. There's WCS points. There's a lot on the line for this tournament. But apparently Heart's having a bit of lag. And I want to stress that they're both offline at GFINITY in London. They're in booths and all that, so it's not like Korea to Europe or anything like that. And we'll see if we need a remake before we introduce the players really quick. Because Pewee, admin guy that he is, going to look into it.
How could one person 5 feet away be getting lag, you know, on the same internet?
Well, let me tell you about the WCS finals of 2014.
I thought that was more. Wait, 2014?
Last year, people dropped all the time, remember?
Yeah, but I thought that was a bunch of different issues.
It's like a private server. They're 5 feet from away from it. There's gonna be issues with it.
I've heard like a bunch of different stories, right? Like one from supposedly an official source, but people are like keep on telling me I'm wrong, whatever. Like 3 different things happened, basically.
You know, here's the thing, though, right? Like before we go too much into this, no matter what bad things happen in that event, and I think those will always kind of be remembered because bad things did happen. I'm never gonna forget that stage, dude. That was the coolest stage I've ever seen.
It was the coolest stage. But I will never forget Innovation's face as he's like lagging out.
I know he's like crying.
I wanted to cry for him. I was like, oh my god, the robot has emotions.
It's like Bender. Sometimes I wish robots had emotions, and that makes me sad or whatever. Alright, well guys, hopefully this gets resolved. I mean, in worst case scenario, a quick remake actually usually fixes this. We've had these problems too when casting. A lot of you have seen it. Restart the client and all those things.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm amazed in chat, by the way.
I enjoy that tweet from Fear Dragon.
Shout out to MMA! MMA! So you to cheer on his buddy Hart. Yo, here's my thing too. Like, I picture the Axiom House, right? And for those who don't know, MMA, Hart, Ryong, they all live together. And what I like to imagine is like MMA and Hart are kind of like the super tryhards, right? And Ryong's this guy who's just like pretty good, but he's like the goofball of the 3. So he'd be the guy who's like, "Hey guys, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing?" And MMA's like, "Shut up, I'm trying to play." And Hart's probably like, "Shut up, I'm trying to play." Ryong's like, "Should I play too?" And they're just like, "Go away." Yeah, I see MMA is cheering for Hart or Patience. Basically anybody from the Axiom House. Yeah, Hart, Patience, True. There's kind of like this like club. But hopefully, so, am I getting any networks? I'm probably not getting any network space. No, I'm not. So.
I'm trying to get Crank or MMA to be on my team.
Oh no, you can't recruit. That's not fair. I should have asked MMA.
Well, too bad. Well, then, you know, our plan will be at some point, if we start losing, MMA will just get up and go and, like, hit Frank.
There you go. Like, no, shh. You're not supposed to tell people who it is. Alright, so Patience is apparently going to be leaving the Axiom House at some point. Did not know this. So MMA says he's only cheering for Hart and... But, yeah, so guys, sorry for this delay. We just, looks like they're going to reboot the PC or something. So just give us a moment to figure out what exactly is going on.
Okay.
Swap to the out of game screen and all that. Oh, wait, ours is maybe fixed. Alright. Alright, let's see. Do we have an unpause coming or a remake? What's it gonna be? Roll the dice!
Huh?
You
just sound like that guy.
I mean, look at that. Look at the worker count right now. 11 to 11. The game doesn't come. You know, there's such a balanced game, StarCraft 2, that a minute and 31 seconds. Oh my God, Zombie Grove. If you remove the 3 from a minute 31, it's the same amount of workers each player has, and that 3 then becomes 3 points.
The 3 ones, which are the 3 points of the
3 points of a triangle. You know where this is going. All right. So, after a small bit of lag or something, it looks like the issues have been resolved, hopefully, ideally. So, without further ado, in the top left corner of the map, it's going to be the Dead Pixels pink player. It's Patience.
In the bottom right, as the Red Terran, it's Axiom's Heart.
Now, I said it before we got into the series, and I'm going to stand by it. I think Heart's probably got the better chance in this series. Patience is a fantastic Protoss player, and I actually have a lot of faith he could take on most players in the world. But ever since I've first watched Heart, there's something about his TVP. He's just got a really good handle on this matchup.
I agree. I guess I've had more faith in Terrans lately, because they're able to pretty much kill the Protoss in the mid game. So no balance wise, it's just it was, I think, officially designed right where you'd have a bit more strength in the mid game. The late game would be a lot tougher unless you had the correct setup of multiple command centers and giving away SCVs and all of that. But we have people that are like just abusing medevacs, like even more so than they did when like speedbacks were first introduced, right? They're going up to like 10, 12 medevacs, and they're trying to reduce Colossus counts by not Vikings, but rather dropping and just getting the lucky kill.
I mean, we've really only seen, sorry, I forgot we still got the unit step up. We've seen this trend in two major ways, right? And it's kind of gone away from like classic TVP with a lot of dancing and trading to either you go super all in with Marauders, Marines, Medevacs, and very little to no Vikings. And you try to win the game before it gets too out of hand with drops, as Zomgrip just described. The alternative is we do see Vikings come out to play, but then we've also been seeing more SCV pulls than ever. And I'm not talking random diamond matches on the ladder. I'm talking for the WCS qualifiers, for the WCS Europe qualifiers, even in the Alima League from time to time. We're just seeing a lot of folks very still comfortable going with that big Terran all-in. You pull the SCVs, pull the boys, hope to win.
Yeah. Hard to say comfortable. I think for some people it's very comfortable. For some people they feel that that's their only option. So I'm not really sure where Hart is, but as you're saying, he looks very confident in the matchup. So I'd have to say that anything he does is, something that's been practiced and has a pretty high success rate, which sometimes SCV pools do.
Yeah.
But we have a one-base opener. It's going to be Hellions right now.
Well, I'm actually interested more so about the Stargate here for Patience, right? So if he opens with an Oracle and actually leaves it at home, he'll shred through the Hellions, no problem. If he opens with a Phoenix or anything else, I mean, still, he can deal with the Hellions, but it's a question of whether he leaves it at home or not. Sakura can poke a little bit, but it can't really stop Hellions. Mothership Core's gonna have maybe a Photon Overcharge, but, I mean, you really want to burn that on top of some Hellions? Get rid of the base. He's gonna have to, though. 1 second to go.
Pop it off. You may even be able to save a Hellion. Not sure if that's going to really help out later, but it could. Why not? Not going to get any kills with only one anyways.
Yeah, to explain this too, because I mean, this is not so conventional. If you can run across the map fast enough, those two Hellions can seriously get up to 6 probe kills on a regular basis and provide a lot of scouting. And the weird thing to consider is that 2 Hellions for the cost of 200 minerals is still cheaper than actually scanning your opponent. So in a lot of ways, those could have been really beneficial, but Patience pretty quick to shut that down was nice. And I don't believe Hart saw the Starport, or Stargate, pardon me. So this Oracle will come here initially unseen, but there are Marines out. No turrets, but there's Marines.
There's a Widowmine somewhere. I know we got one. Yeah, it's near the gas geyser in the main, which unfortunately is not where the Oracle is going, but maybe she'll come back over there and die a very gruesome death. But of course, this Hellion sees his Oracle, and this Oracle is like, I'm just going to chill here for a second. There we go. But the Marines are already in position. So that was a nice little catch for Hart right there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the idea is that you want to have 6 Marines one way or the other, and it's a little unfortunate because I don't believe there is a one of mine. There we go. Sneaking around, trying not to be seen, goes behind the satellite dish. But I think for Patience, he kind of knows it's that time where there's probably going to be ample defenses. Maximizing his kills on this Oracle are very unlikely. Maybe gets another SCV-2 or 2, but I mean, like, the turret's finishing, the Marines are right here. Doesn't know if there's a Widow Mine. This does a surprising amount of damage, but nothing devastating.
Yeah. I do want to note, of course, that Hart is on third command center already. It opened up a little bit weird on one base, but he has a very quick third CC to make up for it, and even more if he's able to secure it in a timely fashion. Of course, Patience does scout this, but what do you really do when you respond? Do you try and get your own fast kind of third, but then drops are a problem, and Cactus Valley, unfortunately, it has kind of the Catalina effect, where if you drop the third, then you can drop the main that's right behind on that little ledge, and Colossus, they can't get up as quickly as you would hope to immediately respond to a drop like that, so it's still, you know, you gotta consider being safe when taking your third as a Protoss.
Oracle's still getting some work in here, being a little problematic. There's so many Marines though. Once Stim finishes, this becomes a lot easier to clean up. I like the Revelation before leaving the base too. Gotta keep an eye on what's going on. 4 health on Oracle, still barely alive. But he's gonna see the full production. And of course, if you guys have never seen Revelation before, because it's not used so often, this is what it looks like. You don't get the unit's vision, you do get the area just directly around the unit or the building.
Well, Stim's about to finish and the medevacs are out, so it's timing up really nicely. Nice build there. As he pushes across the map and probably maybe sends a Marine out just to check for proxy pylons, as Cactus Valley is a huge map, and there are plenty of places to hide pylons. I think he'll be able to secure a third.
I would like to see us go to the late game just to see how, not so much patience, but more so heart handles it. Because, again, it feels like the onus has been on Terran to play this differently. But one of the Oracles, the low one does go down, kills some more Marines for it. Does have a small push coming in the middle of the map, though. And, ooh, the Observer's actually going to see this.
Yeah. But it's, again, like Cactus Valley is so huge. You know, you see it that far ahead, and you're not exactly sure where they're going. It's going to have Zelnaga control for the most part. The third is not covered by an observer, so if he went to the left, Hart probably could have gotten a cancel really quickly, just stim in and get out, but he did go to the right, maybe expecting the third base to be over there. It's not.
Pretty important the Colossus timing on this too. I don't believe it is. No, it's not even started extended thermal lines yet. But just the damage itself is gonna help with the Marines. I mean, Marauders are really good. We see this so often when you've got like 5 Marauders coming and clear out like infinite amount of Stalkers. But you know, it's this without those Marines for the extra DPS, these 2 Marauders are really not that scary. So if the Colossus can just get the damage done, not die in the process, all should be good here for Patience.
Well, Patience, you know, there was like 1 5-second window where Hart, if he was really quick on the trigger, could have maybe gotten a cancel, but he didn't. So both of them have like really nicely timed thirds, and in fact, Patience with a good amount of probes at 64 already. This was a sentry, I believe, but it's not the big deal.
Okay. Medevacs almost get picked off there, but quick to boost away.
The annoying pylons that just get littered around the map. Oh, but they're not going to do it, because there's an army right there.
Meanwhile, Observer does kind of sit above the Marines, still sees what's going on, backing away from this. Hart's got a interesting upgrade lead. This doesn't typically happen for the Terran player, if ever, in TVP, but it's going to be 2-1 by the time it's on 1-1.
Yeah. Well, we've been seeing more and more double forge, it feels, so it's definitely like even more surprising with how we've recently seen TVP. Oh, Oracle goes down before getting that last revelation off. Could have been helpful.
Yeah, it's pretty important to note here, too, guys, that Hart did cut medevac production. We're talking about the different styles in which to play the matchup earlier, and sitting on 4 medevacs is kind of your cap most of the time if you're planning to play more standard. And because he went for the armory, because he's going for these +2 weapon upgrades, this doesn't feel like it's going to be an all-in game. I don't imagine he's going to pull the SCVs.
I don't know. 2-1-1 can be exactly what you're going for. Now, if he starts +2 armor, then I'm like, yeah, I agree. And, you know, 4th command center.
Yeah, and that for me, that's what I'm questioning. Though, like, was that a mistake not starting it, or was it that he's intentionally not started it?
I think he is just going for like the basic all in that you can do. You know, you see SCV pulls, and they seem to be like, we saw a couple like really terribly timed ones, right? Like in the past couple of weeks, you know, +2 was halfway done, and we're like, well, why'd you do that?
Yeah,
but then there are like ones that are like very much so lined up to hit at a very particular timing, and nothing the Protoss does is going to change your mind about it.
Pretty epic Viking fight. Air quotes. Patience is setting up a lot of pylons down in the middle of the map. Now, Storm's almost done as well. This is going to be a pretty big thing for Hart to deal with, as he's not exactly on a Ghost Academy. Doesn't exactly have a bunch in the army. He is going to pull some of the boys, but not all the boys by the looks of it. Yeah,
just the natural, really.
I mean, this is it's buffer for the army. It'll soak up some of the Zealot hits. This will be nice. But the problem is he is hitting at a timing where Storm is done, Colossus are done. There's going to be a couple of cannons around the map, too. It's going to be really hard to just steamroll this.
Yeah.
And Cactus Valley has a lot of chokes.
You know, the Protoss might not have really good upgrades, but having
look
4
at that storm damage.
I'm pretty sure makes up for that.
Look how much damage just 2 storms have done already. Hart, I don't know if he wants to commit to this. The Vikings are already almost dead before the fight even begins.
There's one more storm. Mothership core will go down. She does get both. Well, the time will.
got so much damage. Use the SCVs on the front lines of the Vikings, right? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, they're repairing each other. Let's see, put them on auto repair.
Yeah.
There they go. Yeah. But
I mean,
still, that one storm, it's pretty good. You really like the Viking count is so important here, and that, you know, already some have gone down, and a lot of them are weak. It's going to be really hard to push into this. Hard. I don't know if you can, like, you only pulled the natural, right? But even so, like, you're not letting your upgrades. They're going to be in a 4th base. Like, he has to still commit to this, and I'm not sure it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either. I think that when he took that first storm, he should have turned around. But we're at this point now where the Zealots are soaking a lot of the hits. The Colossus do mostly go down, but the Immortals, this is something we don't typically see even, conventionally is the word I should have said. The Marauders normally just walk through Stalkers because that's all that's left, and the Zealots get kited for days. But those Immortals are just going to blast through the Marauders. Huge Mortal Warp in as well to soak these hits, pushes that front line. Archon even here as well, no storms necessary. And there's just not enough Vikings to really dive through anything right now. It's one Viking in the sky. Heart is slowly bleeding out of a very weak economy behind this.
Yeah. It looks like Hard, I mean, it failed, all right? So let's just go ahead and say it. All right? I think it's going to be game over as well, unless Hart, basically it's up to him. Does he try and get the macro this, or is he going to be like, okay, it's first game, first series, like, let's go and to the next game? But this did not work. At the very least, you want to get the 3rd base, okay? And even then, sometimes that isn't enough if they manage to get Storm and, you know, just wreck your army. The fact that he got nothing, you know, but, you know, a couple of the Colossus. I don't even think he got, like, the Templars. Like, that's pretty bad.
Oh, man, these medevacs are picking up. Now, I guess the nice thing is because you got feedbacked already, you don't have to worry about getting feedback on the way in.
I guess so. The upside.
Counterattacks going off on the other side of the map, by the way. Looks like some Zealots snuck through, and wow, Patience takes Cactus Valley.
You know, I kind of brought it up, right, when you're talking about the upgrades, that sometimes they just